Following on from my last video regarding the mass awakening, thank you so much to everybody's comments. That video was more successful than I thought it would be, so I'm going to do a follow-up here just to touch on some of the comments that came up with regards to the mass awakening that is currently happening in humanity right now. What it means by mass awakening is humans and nature and everything in the universe is always going through a process of awakening. That is how we evolve in consciousness. It's this gradual process of awakening all the time, okay? That's something that we're always doing over lifetimes. But what's happening at this time on the planet, because there is a double-dimensional shift in consciousness, is happening over what we perceive as humans to be a quicker period than has ever happened before. There is literally a jump shift in consciousness. So what is happening is, as we start awakening, as humans are starting to awaken, what happens is everything that needs healing is, like I said in the last video, is coming up to the surface to be cleared. And this is happening on an individual level as well. So as soon as your consciousness starts awakening to the nature of reality and everything that is happening in this world, and realizing that everything is not as it seems, etc., what will naturally happen is your consciousness will start rising to the surface. All of those heavy old traumas that may have been unconscious to you, it will bring them to the surface so that they can be healed. That is naturally what happens as we start waking up. So if you think about the fact that there was a lot of comments where people were saying, I'm awake, but everyone I know doesn't seem to be, okay? It's not our responsibility to be trying to wake everyone up. Okay, that's not what we need to be doing, and we certainly don't need to be worrying that people are not waking up quick enough. Okay, don't forget that as the awakening process happens, it does trigger shadows to come to the surface. Not everybody is going to awaken in the same way as you. Some people are going to need a more gentle approach, okay? And the nature of their own intelligence, their soul, their consciousness knows that maybe for them, it might have to be more of a gentle process. Because if you wake people up with the proverbial air horn in their face and say, wake up to everything that's happening, that can be very jarring to the psyche. So some people may not look like they're awake or what you would expect someone to look like when they're awake. And we're worrying that, oh, none of people are awake, we're running out of time. Again, that's something that goes beyond what our responsibility is. The nature of the universe knows at what rate people need to wake up. If people wake up too quickly and too spontaneously, it can make things worse, to be honest with you. And it can actually put people into a depression. It can put people into a psychosis. And it's not just a case of 1 minute someone's asleep and the next morning they wake up and they're awake. They're an woke person, You might have a family, a friend that doesn't seem to be anywhere near what you would class as awake, but we don't know that might be gently being triggered underneath the surface. They might be being awakened naturally under the surface, but to our physical eyes, it may not look like they're awake yet. So we have to remember that awakening looks different for everybody, and it's not our responsibility to go around blowing trumpets in people's ear to wake them up. Other people might need a more gentle approach, because don't forget, everything that when you wake up, it awakes everything up within you. It doesn't just wake you up and go, oh, lovely, yeah, okay, I know everything that's going on now. It also triggers an awakening of old shadows. So if somebody's waking up when it's not their time to be woken up, that could push them over the edge, So we've got to remember that even if family and friends don't look like they're waking up yet and we feel very alone about it, there may be an awakening happening under the surface. I've already got friends who I thought weren't on my level with any of this, and what I was saying seemed crazy to them. Now, a few years later, I've got some of them saying to me, do you know what, I'm starting to question things now. But they've come across those things naturally in their own way without me trying to push it on them, if you see what I mean. So don't worry, take the responsibility off yourself that it's up to you to go and wake up all 9 billion people in the world, because that's not up to us. We just stand in our truth. If we feel like we're awake in a world that is the way that it is, and we're starting to become aware of it. You just keep going as you are. You keep being authentic, and people will eventually follow suit. If you're feeling awake in a world like this and you're going through a healing process, you are on the leading edge of consciousness, guys, okay? And I'm not saying that to feed your ego. I'm saying stand in your truth and be there for people, even if they don't seem to be awake yet. There may be an awakening going on under the surface that we can't quite see with our physical eyes yet. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.